Taoiseach, you mentioned the state apology to those mothers and children who went through the mother and baby home institutions. But the fact is that very, very many, I think it's approximately 24,000 of those who went through, children who went through those institutions were excluded from the redress scheme. A redress scheme, by the way, I think still not open for applications. Pretty incredible in and of itself, considering the age of many of these people. But the exclusion of people on the very, very arbitrary grounds that they didn't spend more than 6 months in a mother and baby home was a really shocking, terrible, terrible decision. There's a lovely woman called Susan who comes into my clinic regularly who's been campaigning on this, and was an adoptee herself, who's in a mother and baby home, and she thinks she probably will be entitled because she thinks, over 6 months, although showing the various documents she's getting from the different people you can apply to for the documents. There's not a lot of consistency in the information, but she feels that she's letting down those who are excluded by taking up their redress when so many others were excluded, because she rightly identifies, as I and others have said to you, that how long you spend in these institutions doesn't take into account the trauma of being separated, forcibly separated, a mother and children, as against just how long you happen to be in the institution. The fundamental wrong that was done to children is they were forcibly separated from their mothers. And Susan is so upset about all of this. You know, she talks about only existing on paperwork, never being able to trust government ever again. I could go on, but I think even at this late stage, the government should recognise that all of those who are forcibly separated from their mothers should be entitled to the redress, and indeed that redress scheme should be opened as a matter of urgency.
On the issue of the Mother and Baby Home Institution Payment Scheme, I think Minister Gorman has explained, and I have in the House on many occasions, the reasons for the criteria. In terms of the timeline, the establishment of the Mother and Baby Institutions Payment Scheme is an important commitment in the Government's response to the final report. In July, the Mother and Baby Institution Payment Scheme Act was signed into law. Work is now underway in the Department of Children, Equality, Disability, Integration and Youth to progress the scheme on the structures needed for a scheme of this size. This includes appointing a chief deciding officer and also staff, establishing an online application system, rolling out trauma-informed training for the staff, and ensuring that all necessary communications, information and application forms for applicants are in place, also in hard copy as well as electronic form. And the department informs me that it will be a number of months before this work is concluded and the scheme can be open to applications. Finally, the issue of sexual abuse at St John's Ambulance in the past was raised. I am aware of the report and some of the issues in it. St John's Ambulance isn't a public body and we don't appoint the board, so government has limited influence in terms of what it can do. It does receive some state funding. I'm not sure if that's continuing or not. I can certainly check that out, but I'll have to ask the Minister to come back to you and see if there's more that we can do to encourage the organisation to do what's right, not just by people who were harmed in the past, but also for the future of the organisation itself.